And now to politics at home. New developments in China's seizure of a U.S. drone. Two U.S. defense officials are telling Fox News they expect the Chinese to return the Navy's underwater drone tomorrow. This after President-elect Donald Trump tweeted over the weekend. China steals United States Navy research drone in international waters, rips it out of the water and takes it to China in unprecedented act. And then we should tell China that we don't want the drone they stole back. Let them keep it. A spokesperson for China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs says they didn't like the word steal and that when they found the device, they did an investigation to make sure they knew what it was and whether it was really belonging to the United States. Charles is laughing. Meanwhile, Senator John McCain criticized the Obama administration over the incident. He suggests its policies are emboldening countries like Iran and now China.
The fundamental here is that the Chinese have taken an American vehicle and in international waters in a gross violation of international law. There's no strength on the part of the United States of America. Everybody's taking advantage.
Defense officials say the same Chinese ship which took the drone will return it. We're told there's no indication the research drone ever left that ship. Charles, you were laughing. Why?
Well, here's the thing. They're going to return it. The big question is, will it be in pieces or will they bother to put it back together, okay? Last week, one thing that went unnoticed was Iran actually unveiled a new aerial attack drone that was made from a drone they had captured from the United States. Of course, John McCain is correct. The belligerent actors of the world have gone roughshod over America and the world because of a feckless President Obama who thinks foreign policy, we saw it earlier in the show, cut it out. Doesn't work. So anyway, China's going to have their way with this drone, take it apart. We'll see it again. Unfortunately, it may be used against it somewhere down the road.
Yeah. So why tell them to keep it?
Well, I mean, the first thing that we're missing, and I don't want to not point out the pink elephant in the room, is that the misspelling of unprecedented was all over Twitter all weekend. I think he spelled it president like president instead of CED. But I think internationally what people are learning is that a new sheriff is in town. And as you pointed out, the last 8 years of Iranian soldiers making our soldiers tuck down and put their hands above their head, that's all going to end. And these unique moments of aggression from China, I think at some point it is going to hit a fever pitch.
Yeah, this is interesting, too, because we know that Donald Trump took that phone call from the Taiwanese president. And we know that China had just encircled that island nation with fighter planes. So this feels like another chapter.
Yeah, and I'm not mad at that. I agree. For whatever you think of the last 8 years, I'm a voter of President Obama, but highly critical of mainly his national security leadership. I think it's been pretty poor. And so I'm very interested and intrigued and very willing to see what this leadership will look like under President-elect Trump. Because Charles says, new sheriff in town. Let's see what it looks like. When he says y'all can keep it, it sounds kind of crazy, but in a way, maybe he's saying, you know what, it's not that crazy, right?
Well, the bottom line is they've opened it up, they've looked at it, they've copied it.
You've already got the best of it.
Look, it's a little crazy to tweet it, okay? I mean, I criticize people when they put their relationship drama on Facebook or on Twitter, like, yeah, well, you can just keep it. I don't want that back anymore. And he's talking about, like, country-to-country drama. So if it's inappropriate on a personal level, and this is certainly an inappropriate way to deal with it, especially if you're too enraged to make sure you're spelling stuff right. It's just not a good look. You need to look like you're being more careful.
Autocorrect.
It doesn't matter. Twitter's not the place for these kinds of arguments.
I do want to say, though, this is starting to make, it feels to me like a Ronald Reagan moment when he came in, of course, the Iranian hostage crisis, that we've got some serious crises that are going to meet Donald Trump on day one. Serious foreign policy crisis that must be addressed on day one.
But I think our enemies are going to learn the very difficult way that the years of cut it out are well over.
They're going to have to learn that.
Yes.
And they're going to, some will test us like a China. So be ready for an early test.
All right now.